succeed in showing the fact that duct tape is the universal tool. Something I think MythBusters has over other workshop kind of shows like Fact or Faked or Deadliest Warriors is that the hosts are true showmen. Even Jamie, with all the jokes about his seriousness, loves to build giant contraptions that serve the purpose of like performing a gag, doing a visual gag. There's something so special when Jamie gets excited about a build. It's awesome. And there's a real style to the presentation. The blueprints introducing each build are often drawn by the cast themselves. They feel very involved in the production. You know, the crafting of each episode. I love in the Alcatraz Escape episode when Jamie and Adam are interrupted by a Discovery Channel crew to take promotional photos.
They get near me with some powder and some scissors for my mustache. They're going down.
Well, maybe just a little touch-up for the tough guy.
Unlike other reality shows, the celebrity aspect of these people get in the way from the real drama, which is the crafting, the making, the building, the tinkering. As you watch the show, the shop gets more full with props from earlier experiments. M5, the shop, becomes a character in itself with a great continuity. They make a casted mold of Grant's head when they test the myth if you could like put a finger in the barrel of a gun to save your life. You can't, by the way, myth busted.
Does anybody find it creepy how many Grant robots have been on the show? Is it just me, or is he trying to like clone himself and make a little army?
I like it. I think we're keeping it.
But afterwards, Grant's head makes regular appearances because they still have the mold. It's practical to use it, but it's still a face of Grant.
Grant's face, test number 1 and only. Firing in.
3, 2, 1.
It's so fucking funny.
This is your time to shine.
Occasionally, the myth seems so mundane and lame. It's like, why are you even wasting your time on it? Like, does a duck echo? Why wouldn't it?
Jamie and Adam will look really stupid.
They're giving, why did the network make us do this?
Myth busted.
Don't be so hasty. Myth busted, let's go home, see ya.
Then there are myths that may have well existed in the Middle Ages, like can a cell phone call ignite an explosion at a gas station? People asking that question didn't know how to make fire. That's why they're asking the question. They want to know if it's a viable way to make fire. They're Neanderthals, cavemen. An early dumb f***ing episode was Pyramid Power, which claims that the Egyptians used the pyramid to preserve mummies, not through mummifications, but through the mystical scientific properties of the pyramid's shape.
As far as I know, in ancient Egyptian thinking, there's no evidence that they thought about that at all.
They take time to follow the exact directions to capture this pyramid power, which should keep fruit fresh and sharpen razors. But after some long trials, it doesn't seem to do anything. So they even try testing cube power, and that doesn't work either. It's silly, but one of the show's greatest strengths is taking the time to give these ridiculous things a chance. Their mode of storytelling is the scientific method, so you can't just like brush something off. You can't just research on the internet and talk about it. You have to show it. I was surprised I loved the mind control episode so much, because they give a reason for why people believe mind control devices exist. The show points to the fact that there are publicly filed patents in the United States for mind control devices. How can this be? Only geniuses have patents. So using a multitude of guides on the internet and plans sourced from the US Patent Office, they actually build them. They measure people's brainwaves while testing these wacky devices that make variations in air pressure, create subliminal sounds, spin magnets. I do love the psionic helmet. I would not go anywhere near someone wearing this though.
She runs through every beverage on the menu, except the one that Tori is trying to project.
Something I really appreciate about Adam Savage versus many other science educators is he's always had a respect for people who need a concept re-explained to them, or who may even be stubbornly holding on to their own beliefs. People aren't stupid, the world is confusing. One myth that may seem simple to some, but not to many others, is an airplane can cannot take off on a conveyor belt that matches its takeoff speed. That sounds correct in my brain. But after Adam and Jamie break a treadmill, a small-scale test shows a successful takeoff. It's such a strange sight to see that even later, the pilot they hire to do the large-scale tests believe his plane won't take off. They tow a tarp behind a truck matching the plane's takeoff speed, but despite the conveyor belt, the plane moves forward and takes off. It seems like they did the experiment wrong. That did not happen. I don't care what I just saw. But that's an assumption. It's an assumption based on a misunderstanding of the physics of planes.
Bringing it to Jamie and him going, why would we test that? It's totally stupid. And I'm like, it may be painfully obvious to you, Heinemann, but check out this stack of arguments we found.
The plane is not creating friction on the ground to move. The wheels they're just stands. The propeller creates friction in the air. It's like saying you couldn't swim over an underwater conveyor belt.
It took about 3 weeks of production before we understood people's confusion with the story enough to actually explicate and speak to that confusion in the episode.
It's something so easy to misunderstand, and if I didn't see it on the show, I would have never believed you could do that. I'm an educated person now. I love the episode where they measure bacteria content after double dipping. That is, taking a bite of your food and putting it back in a shared dip. My grandma hates double dipping, and as a child, I could have respected what she wanted. I could have taken dip and put it on my own plate if I really wanted to double dip. But the Mythbusters said myth busted. Double dipping isn't all that bad. So I let her know whose opinion I respected more.
The Mythbusters.
Sometimes their conclusions do raise an eyebrow, like watching them fail to curve bullets. I have the confidence to say I could actually do that. James Cameron is still a salty little sailor. Excuse me, a salty little sub about the episode where Jamie and Adam supposedly proved that Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in Titanic could have survived on the wooden board floating in the water together, rather than Jack dying. Rewatching Jamie and Adam's experiment, they do have some chicanery in there. They add a lot to equalize the buoyancy of the wood for their weight, and rely on their own ingenuity in the water to use a life vest to prop up the board to keep them both out of the water. It's just fishy is all I'm saying. So obviously these guys aren't exactly scientists by trade, and over the years the fans have criticized their experimental methods. Discovery ran a Mythbusters fan site, and often the Mythbusters would take viewer requested myths, but in true scientific fashion, they also revisited many of their experiments while taking criticism into account. They were even contacted by President Obama one time to retest a myth. Why would Obama contact the Mythbusters to try to rebuild the Archimedes death ray? Obama, shouldn't this have been top secret? Anyways, myth busted. The show demystifies science through the creative process, which is incredible.
And as you watch Jamie and I fill in the pockets of our ignorance, you learn too, and you get to see that sort of science in action.
I think if we actually knew what we were doing around here, it wouldn't be near as interesting to people to watch.
Yes, while they didn't begin as scientists, over time, the show gave the cast a real appreciation for the scientific process and their roles as scientists and science educators. This is real experimentation, and over time, they did net some useful data and results. Mythbusters actually saved lives directly by showing that a car door, when submerged in water, is easier to open if you allow the car to fill up with water first. It's a thought that can feel very counterintuitive in the moment, but it equalizes the pressure.
The Mythbusters thing came to mind, and it was like, okay, I have to wait. Even though I didn't want to, I had to wait. I waited until that moment, pushed the door open, and it opened like nothing.
For the router, I don't pay anything for it.
The installation was super easy. I didn't have to go pick up anything on my own.
And all of the equipment was included.
It's just one and done. Anyone that needs any of those things should check out G-Fiber.
the door open, and it opened like nothing.
Wow. I don't know what to say to that. That's intense.
Was the lunar landing complete lunacy?
That's 100% wacky right there.
I did a search for Mythbusters on r/conspiracy just to see what the most intelligent of us had to say about the show. And of course, people call them government plants for their take that the moon landing footage was real. With some simple testing, they show that many popular criticisms regarding the moon landing footage can easily be disproved with demonstration, including the way the sun reflects on the ground to create multiple angles of light. That's just misunderstanding basic cinematography, y'all. And you want to critique footage? In hindsight, I really valued this episode as a kid because I think it taught me that even if an argument sounds good on the surface, many arguments fall apart with just a little bit more examination. This episode reminds me so much of the Flat Earth documentary that ends with the Flat Earther proving himself wrong with his own experiment. It's like he just went outside. So much of the craziest conspiracies is just a reliance on what-ifs that are way easier to test in reality than people lead on. They just haven't taken the time to test their own theories. Mythbusters is really wonderful as a science education show, but its timeless quality is a representation of the maker's spirit. That is, creating for the sake of creating.
I'm making a little whirligig here out of one of the 2 coat hangers I found.
One of my favorite books for creative inspiration is Adam Savage's Every Tool's a Hammer. And to me, that's such a perfect title. In a pinch, you can make any tool a hammer. And when you work on projects, when you have deadlines, sometimes it feels like you gotta have that kind of ingenuity. To me, it's not only an entertaining celebrity autobiography, but it's much more of a very practical guide to managing creative projects. Bro has a whole chapter about making lists, and it's a page turner.
It doesn't matter what you make, and it doesn't matter why. The importance is that you are making something.
From the beginning on Mythbusters, science education was always the backdrop to make a show about making things. I love the earlier episode Shop Till You Drop, which just follows Jamie and Adam around as they highlight all the different places they've shopped for constructing different experiments. Sourcing things for the show was a huge challenge on its own, and they end up in weird places.
Our little plug. This was Men in Black 2.
That is the pug from Men in Black 2, and he is taxidermy. I loved that movie as a kid. I loved that character as a kid. This episode came out shortly after Men in Black 2. Where can I get that guy? In another early episode, they buy a classic car for a myth about bodies rotting inside a car. The owner is sad to part with his beloved vehicle, but excited to be selling it to the Mythbusters until Jamie tells him what they're doing with it.
This is an absolutely horrible thing to do to a beautiful car.
The man is so defeated. Why did you have to tell him?
Well, not real happy, tell you the truth. I mean,
you should have told Tim you're testing the myth that a car can last forever.
When something strange or misunderstood, who you gonna call?
Hey, you're watching Busting in My Kitchen. Today we've set up an experiment to try to find out if your friends have a secret group chat they use to talk behind your back. We're looking for a reaction here. I live in an apartment. That's so weird. Is that all we get? Looks like I got that group chat. I think I need to. Whoa! Whoa!
The emotional climax of the episode is never dependent on the outcome of the myth. It's like any special effect, the execution of the scene. In an early holiday episode, Jamie and Adam take a break from myth busting to construct a Rube Goldberg machine, a visual spectacle created through a series of gags which works by moving parts activating each other in succession like a row of dominoes. These two have done this kind of thing before on commercial work, but on a shortened television schedule, they design a challenging scene with mechanical toys, a rolling turkey, a fountain of Diet Coke and Mentos, and it's just spectacular to watch. Jamie and Adam, with no myth to prove, build this incredible thing that only exists for fun. Meanwhile, the B team's up to some diabolical stuff.
This drop is a real eye-opener.
Today was marked day. Every year in every district at the exact same hour, one 18-year-old girl gets chosen. Some girls curled their hair, wore perfume, smiled like they were already somebody, because somewhere far from this town, 4 cardinal alphas were watching, not for faces, not for names, for lunar potential. I took the long way to school, back alleys, side streets, trying to disappear. But you can't hide from a gaze you can't see. Marked day only takes one girl, and by the end of the day, one desk stays empty forever. The sick part, some girls pray it's them. Me? I already knew the truth they didn't want to admit. When alphas start watching, they don't do it by accident. The alphas called me special, but my town only had one name for girls like me. Whore's daughter. Must be a whore herself. That's what they've called me since I could walk.
Open it.
The showmanship carries into the experimentation. It's not only for data, it's for the camera. And the creativity of all 5 members contributes to a balanced show. In its 2 final seasons, the network made one of the worst penny-pinching decisions in cable TV history. They chose to fire the B team because they were up for a raise, and Discovery did not want to shell out the money. The Bill team added a whole other dimension to the show. The 3 members have their own very youthful, friendly rapport, which really complimented Jamie and Adam.
Nice style, you.
No, I usually don't let people do that.
I love just watching them play in the pool.
Scary.
That's so beautiful. That's content, baby. And by all counts, they were friends outside the show. The final 2 seasons with Jamie and Adam are by no means bad. I love when they test the Simpsons myth, like Adam builds Homer. They crush him with the wrecking ball. There's a level of refinement to the production that I can appreciate. But that could also be it feeling more corporate. As soon as they leave, the energy Carrie, Tori, and Grant brought to the show is immediately missed. It just makes more sense when the B team is there. Damn it. Buster is not giving them much to work with, but they'll make it work. Damn, this shot of the B team in the MacGyver Myth special goes fucking hard. Look at it. I think the episode which exemplifies everything I love about Mythbusters, my favorite Mythbusters episode, is the Seesaw Song. The episode begins with one of the most absurd stories they've ever tackled. A skydiver's parachute fails, and he hits a seesaw, a teeter-totter, with a little girl on the other side. According to the story, she's launched 7 stories, landing on the roof of a building where she's completely unharmed. The boys get at it immediately, with Adam welding a standard steel seesaw designed for our 50-pound child dummy to launch from. They drop a steel can filled with water to approximate a hit from a skydiver, and this experiment would be all too easy if the seesaw didn't break, leaving the girl with a pathetic 20-foot launch. So it's back to the drawing board where they admit this is a very complicated experiment to pull off. How are they going to target a seesaw at terminal velocity? How are they going to aim a dummy and make sure the little girl flies and hits the right place? 7 stories up. So, in one of the few times during the entire show's run, all 5 of the Mythbusters team up to work on one myth together. Using a 3D program, Jamie engineers a new kind of super seesaw design, creatively taking from crane construction to reinforce it for impact. Meanwhile, Adam's small-scale model shows that when the skydiver successfully transfers his energy to the little girl, there's a compound increase in energy, and the girl goes flying even higher than the story says. But that's just at a small scale. With Jamie and Adam welding the new seesaw, the B team are left to solve the terminal velocity problem. Carrie is building a guy filled with goo to approximate the 150-pound person. This huge crevasse, this chasm, to increase the height of a wooden tower they constructed. Guided by cables, our skydiver will bungee fast enough to equal the impact of a 600-foot drop. And to secure the seesaw, it's fastened to 2 multi-ton plates on the ground. This kind of effort could fix a small city's infrastructure. The little girl is the perfect character for some morbid slapstick. She's strapped with impact gauges to know if a real girl would be able to survive the incident unscathed.
You're gonna be fine. Your dad Buster's done it millions of times.
It's Buster's daughter. The day before, they do some drop tests and their weight tears apart. Then later, they miss their target and the bungee breaks from the impact. They only have enough rope for a second bungee, meaning it's high stakes the next day. During the day of the experiment, they drop the dummy, Carrie's dummy, and it busts apart. They do not make full impact, so they rig it up again. They drop a weight, and this time it hits the other side. The little girl shoots straight up and quickly makes contact with the guiding wire. She spins out of control. It's a ridiculous sight, but an unsuccessful test nonetheless. Setting up these experiments take time, and by the third trial, the day is almost over.
In the best Mythbusters tradition, the fast-setting winter sun means this next attempt is
myth confirmed. Anyways, what other plausible things would you like to see me talk about? See ya.
At Lee Summit Honda, we don't just sell cars, we build confidence for life. Every new Honda comes back.
Is the syrup in the room?
I just stumbled upon. Did y'all know about this right here? There's a family canoeing down the river. Y'all not gonna believe what they spotted. Watch what they find, because they stumbled upon some boys. One black and the rest of them is white. Watch this. The white boy said he's a grown-ass man, he should be able to know how to swim. You know a lot of people can't swim. He's letting them know, look, bro, I can't swim. Y'all hear that? Everybody needs to be investigated. We not playing with this one, y'all. There's so many. This one. Before we get into this video, I need y'all to share. Please, if you don't do it for me, do it for yourself and your people. Hype this video up. There's a brother who goes by the name of Nolan Xavier Wells, who was missing in Mississippi. And guess what, y'all? He was out with his friends. And guess what? They were all white. Now this reminds me of a situation where a sister was at a sleepover with a bunch of white girls and she was unalived. Why do this continue to happen? God is showing us that there's a separation between the people. When you look in the sea world, there's a division in the fish. The sharks don't hang out with the goldfish. When you look in the cat realm, the bobcats don't hang with the lions. When you look in the kingdom of the orangutans and the gorillas, they don't hang out with each other. But in America, they tell you everybody need to click up and be. No, we tired of being unalive, bruh. Now I got my notes right here. We're going to be reading off these notes before we get into these videos. So this was on July 4th. Nolan, he was 18 years old, traveled by boat with friends to Horn Island, about 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf. Bruh, us parents must start showing our children the history. Now, even though Nolan was mixed, he had a black dad, and I think his mother was Asian or something like that. Even though, when they see that melanin, they look at you as all of us. That's how they look at you. Don't think because you got curly hair, straight hair that they gonna accept you. It don't work like that. I don't care how proper you pronounce your words. They will never accept you. So come to find out, he went all strolling with some girl. That's why I said everybody need to be investigated. Because I'm starting to think of the movie Get Out now. So this is around 3 p.m. He was last confirmed seen on the island. Witnesses reportedly said he had been talking with a young woman near the northwest end of the island shortly before he disappeared. Later that afternoon, his friends returned to the mainland, but Nolan did not. So you mean to tell me the friends didn't have Nolan's phone number? How is it that they left the island comfortably, sitting on their damn sofa at home? Nolan's so-called friends was supposed to still be at that island. Y'all know when we grew up in our community, your mother told you, if you leave together, you come together. What? That don't make no sense. You coming back. But your so-called friend, they still at the damn island. That lets you know they don't look at you like them. I got so many questions. We gonna get into these videos, y'all. I just want to give y'all a quick synopsis of what's going on. It remains unclear exactly when people realized he was missing or what happened in the hours afterward. They should have realized it when they went together on the boat, but didn't come back on the boat. His mother reported him missing Saturday night. Early Sunday, July 5th, authorities began a large-scale search. Sunday, July 5th, multiple agents searched the island and surrounding waters. His family explained that his cell phone was already with his parents, so it could not be used to track where he had gone. So my mistake. So the friends couldn't find him because the phone was already with. And the parents, why would you take his cell phone? That's the reason why he got a cell phone in the beginning. Why would you sit up there and not? Oh my God. Monday, July 6th, about 8:45 a.m., a park ranger discovered a body on the northwest end of Horn Island. Authorities said the body matched Nolan's description, though formal identification was pending. Later Monday, Nolan's mother publicly confirmed that the body was her son's and asked for privacy while the family grieved. Oh my gosh. I could only imagine. But we're going to go ahead and listen to some of these TikTok videos because y'all know how they get down over there.
I would want answers behind my child.
Right.
And what happened? How did y'all figure his phone? Oh, he just left. What happened to this child? You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. I want to know what happened. And she gonna have to do her part. Because this is gonna be hard. You know, they gonna try to push things up under, sweep things up under the rug, and whatever the case may be. Don't let them. Don't let them. This was a healthy child. You know what I'm saying? That went on a trip with his friends, his white friends at that. And guess what? Everybody else come back, and he's being found unalive. How fucking unfair is it? But yes, that's what it reminds me of. That black lady that went on that trip with all those white women, and they say she failed. It's like the same thing.
I never thought I'd see it again. Then travelers arrived.
Over here.
Yes,
It's like the same thing. But if I was the...
This is the exact reason I tell my kids, friend or no friend, you can't trust anybody.
Your ass ain't going nowhere.
For a group of friends to go to Mississippi on out. But when they come back home, they come back without somebody that they went with. And they're going to say Ray J play a part. You see everybody in this picture right here. Tell me what looks different. Tell me. You had an ATL, accomplished football star, Nolan Wells, goes to Mississippi on Island with his friends on the 4th of July. And then he turns and misses all of his friends make him sick.
And they probably was looking at him in the shower. Y'all know the football players, they got him all that come from that Greek shit. From back then. Y'all know Gym means to Gym is an extension from a Roman word. I think it's gymnos or something like that. It means to wrestle naked. I'm telling you, this is why they're so obsessed with the private areas and all that. They probably was looking at him in the locker room and got jealous.
Since that went with them, Nolan Xavier Wells, he's missing. And nobody has nothing to say about that. You have his so-called friends saying that they don't remember anything. They don't remember seeing what happened. They have pictures on the boat.
Where's the YNs at?
They have pictures together, but nobody knows what happened to them. Now you got the Coast Guard, sheriff deputies, Marine units, and multiple agencies searching for him right now. They're searching the waters, searching surrounding areas, trying to figure out what happened. They're also saying that the last time he was seen with a team. They're also saying that they found his phone, but they didn't find him. What team do you know right now will leave his phone behind? Tell me that. But you see how all this sounds? This is why disappearances like this and places like this always leave people questioning. If you spend time looking into missing person cases like this, then you already know what may be the outcome. Do you understand how this young man's parents have to feel? They just want their kid back. We definitely need to spread the word about this. We need some answers.
Yeah.
This shit is crazy.
Make sure y'all share this video. Make sure you hype it. We need to save our hypes on the important stuff that need to be out there. Hypes are important, y'all. Save them hypes for the important stuff. So as far as the phone thing, we read that the parents already had the phone. They're saying that the phone later on got to the parents after he was missing. So it's a blur right there. It's a blur, because that's one of my questions right there. I don't see no 18-year-old in Mississippi with white friends not having a phone. Parents gotta be smarter than that. And why would you take this? I don't see that happen. Chat got that from a post from the mother saying, yeah, it's pinging from over here because we got his phone. My thing is, who came and brought you his phone? Wow! Wow! Y'all not gonna believe what I just stumbled upon. And this is what black parents need to be teaching their children. Listen! Did y'all know about this right here? Look, there's a family canoeing down the river, and y'all not gonna believe what they spotted. So this person that posted this video and said, did we forget that this just happened? Watch what they find. Not only that, I want y'all to listen and watch what just taken place. Watch this, y'all. White family canoeing down the river, and look at what y'all listen to the background, because they stumbled upon some boys. One black and the rest of them is white. Watch this. The white boy said he's a grown-ass man, he should be able to know how to swim. You got on a safety jacket, you should be able to know how to swim. You know a lot of people can't swim. He's letting them know, look, bro, I can't swim. So the black boy telling the white friends, my dad is in prison. Watch what the white boy say.
I'll find a way.
G-Fiber's network is built to stay up, even when the power goes down. But your home's router is another story. That's why G-Fiber offers in-home battery backup, so your Wi-Fi stays on, even when your lights go off. G-Fiber, internet for whatever life brings.
I'll just find a way.
Same thing they did to ISO Speed when he went out there to the European countries. When he went to the African countries, they showed him love. But what happened when he went to them European countries? I'm telling you, we're not the same. We are not the same. When they get your ass in the woods, I'm telling you, that's when the evil gonna come out. That's when that evil is gonna come out. Y'all share this video. Hype this video. This is crazy.
Bro, you have a hijack. You have to go. You should have killed him. You taught him how to swim.
Shouts out to these white people right here. They let the brother go on the back of the raft and they brung him back to safety. Shouts out to them, man.
What's your name? Huh? What's your name? My name is Marquise. Are you okay? Yeah. I was okay getting over. They think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim. Good job, brother. And it's my first time here? It's your first time? Well, welcome.
So the Bible tells us, if possible, be at peace with all men. Sometimes it ain't possible. This right here is a situation where he can be at peace with them because it's possible. They're showing themselves to be peaceful. But them dogs in the woods, that's not possible. All right, so this sister came out with some information. She's saying that a fight may have occurred. Check it out, y'all.
The other thing, too, regarding Nolan Xavier Wells is that there's a local who commented on Facebook saying that a fight may have happened during the 4th of July, like amongst other boys. So right here, Matthew Lamb says, the passengers are pretty certain that he was amongst the group that was fighting around 5 p.m. And then he said the Bertram with the blue top left shortly after that and pretty fast. And then somebody asked if it was other people or amongst themselves. That's when he replied saying that 3 people on his boat saw that it was amongst themselves. Then after that, I saw this video and it looks like in the back, towards the end of the video, you can see a group of people fighting, and I'm pretty certain that I can see which one is Nolan.
I can hear him. Oh, the news ain't play that background. See, the news is just talking over the footage. So you can hear somebody arguing in the background. Oh yeah, we gotta get up on this, y'all.
That's from the area. Then that's telling us that maybe there was a fight, a real fight or altercation that happened. And did they do something to Nolan? The other thing too, we're
man, oh man. Y'all make sure y'all get this out in the algorithm. I can't do this by myself. I sure can't. I need y'all.